हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू वी लर्न लीगल। इसमें हम लीगल रीजनिंग के सारे सब्जेक्ट्स को वन बाय वन कवर करने वाले हैं और आज की इस क्लास में वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट आर्टिकल्स 25 to 28 विच आर राइट टू रिलीजन। ये इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि 2022 में एज यू कैन सी ऑन योर स्क्रीन्स राइट नाउ क्लैट ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था फ्रॉम राइट टू रिलीजन, सो दोबारा भी यहाँ से कुछ रिपीट हो सकता है। बिकॉज इफ यू वुड नोटिस 2025 और 2024 के क्लैट पेपर में भी लीगल में से दो टॉपिक्स एक्चुअल में रिपीट हुए थे, जुवेनाइल जस्टिस के ऊपर और डिजिटल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल के ऊपर भी। सो बिल्कुल हो सकता है कि क्लैट अपने पुराने टॉपिक्स में से फिर से क्वेश्चंस पूछे। ओके, सो इनको मिस नहीं करना है। लेट्स वॉच दीज क्लासेस। ये लाइव क्लासेस हुई थी हमारे पिछले बैच के लिए, जिनके लिए बच्चों ने प्रॉपर पेड बैच का एक्सेस लिया था, तब उन्हें ये क्लासेस मिली थी मुझसे, बट आपको ये क्लासेस फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट मिल रही हैं। सो टेक द बेस्ट बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ देम। ओके, एंड गुड लक। कोई डाउट होगा तो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में मुझसे पूछ सकते हो, कमेंट भी कर सकते हो, एंड आई ट्राई टू आंसर देयर एज वेल। लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड।
So let's begin with the fourth kind of fundamental right that we have, which is of religion. And you remember when we were reading this, so we read about right to equality, which was under Articles 14 to 18. Then there was freedom under 19 to 22. Then right against, remember कल हमने पढ़ा था against exploitation, that was 23 and 24. Today we will complete almost all of these. They are very easy, so we'll try to complete all the three that are remaining. Right to religion, which is under Articles 25 to 28. Then cultural and educational rights. So regarding your education, regarding your culture, what rights do you have? So there are some fundamental rights also, okay? They're under Articles 29 and 30. And this is the heart and soul, the most important fundamental right, which is the right to constitutional remedies under Article 32, okay? So let's quickly begin with Article 25 to 28. All ready? Sab set ho? ठीक है, ready? Chalo, good. All right. So 25 to 28 is very, very simple, very, very easy, as it talks about the freedom of religion. All right. So before we begin, can anybody just give me an idea that why do you think that religion was one thing that was required to be added in fundamental rights? क्यों हमने इसको इतना importance दिया? And even, you know, this is there in the preamble also. I hope you remember that it was actually secularism, है ना? So it is there in preamble. Yes, Samriti. So what do you think that why do we have placed religion in the area of fundamental rights?
I guess fundamental right to religion को इसलिए place करें ताकि मतलब इंडिया में है diversity of people जो कि हम रह रहे हैं, सबके अपने अपने thoughts अपने
Okay. Your voice not very clear, but I can understand this much कि ताकि हम जो Indian diversity है, is it so that there are people belonging to different religions ताकि हम उन सबको
follow different religions, I guess कर भी सकते हैं.
Okay, makes sense. ठीक है, निहारिका?
मैम, क्योंकि फर्स्टली एज समृद्धि सेड की यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी, बहुत डाइवर्स कंट्री हमारी, इसलिए। एंड सेकेंडली बेसिकली वही पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू आ गया था ना कि हम लोग का जैसे पार्टीशन हुआ था उस टाइम रिलीजन वाज अ ह्यूज प्रोपेगेंडा फॉर द बोथ द कंट्रीज. सो मे बी दैट्स व्हाई.
Very good. So basically, do you remember, you all must know that in the times of 1947, it was not just that India became an independent country. A part of India broke, and it broke to become what? It broke to become Pakistan, है ना? And the main reason of the partition was what? It was religion. You all know this, right? So mostly the Muslim population, they migrated towards Pakistan, and mostly the Hindu population stayed towards India. But the key word here, bachcho, is mostly, right? So not all the Muslims went towards Pakistan, and not all the Hindus came towards India, right? There were many people who wished to stay where they were. Now in this situation, just imagine that even if we talk about India, the majority is who? India में majority religion कौन सा है? Hindus. Very good. ठीक है? So it was Hindus. So like Bhavika, you also want to give an answer to this?
यस मैम, मेरा था कि जो 1995 के बाद जो 1995 के बाद जो इमरजेंसी हुई थी उससे ज्यादा वो हुआ था.
1975.
हाँ वही. हाँ सॉरी.
1995 में तो मैं पैदा हुई थी.
वही मैंने दो बार पॉज लेके बोला ना, मुझे लगा मैं गलत बोल रही हूँ.
1975. ठीक है. So हाँ, तो देखो हुआ क्या था, क्योंकि 1975 में भी जो बहुत सारे दंगे थे या फिर एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो था ना, it was again coming out to be religion. So just to give assurance to the people, है ना, think about it. Like for let's take an example. I'll take example of my own family. जो मेरे forefathers रहे, ठीक है, they did not migrate to Pakistan, right? We belong to Haryana, so they decided that we'll stay back in Haryana only. Like mere dadaji to us time just wo hue hi the, like he was born, but mere par dadaji, like my great grandfather, right? So he did not decide to go to Pakistan, but rather stay back in India. But उन्हें कहीं तो कुछ assurance मिला होगा ना, there must have been some relief that they must have been given, so that they could believe that even if we stay back in India, even if we will be a minority religion, we will be treated nicely and nobody will ask us to convert or nobody will treat us badly, है ना? So that is why it was very important that from the very beginning of the constitution, fundamental rights, they right to religion was given actually the status of a fundamental right, that no matter what religion you belong to, no matter which god you want to follow, we will give you complete freedom as your fundamental freedom to follow the religion of your choice. Got it? So इसीलिए we can say that this is one of the, like for example, अगर हम RTE की बात करें, what is RTE बच्चों? It was right to, yes, it was right to education. Very good. And which is the article of RTE? Article
21A.
शाबाश, ठीक है? So article 21A. Now we know that this was added through amendment, है ना? Why was it added through amendment? Because it was a later stage when the state was in a situation that it could give free and fair, free, education to all the children. So it was not from the very beginning. But if there is something that is from the very beginning of the constitution, it means that it is superbly important. All right. So just understand that in India, there are people belonging to so many religions. And that is why if we want them to stay united and not fight for, mera religion better hai, tera religion better hai, tu convert hole, main convert ho jaunga. So that people should not fight on religion. Unfortunately, fights still happen, riots still happen, but that is because of some people जो उसको अभी भी propaganda की तरह use करते हैं, ठीक है? But generally speaking, you belong to any religion, I belong to any religion, no problem. The law is same for all. All right. So that is why the freedom of religion makes so much sense that it should be a status, given a status of fundamental rights. Okay. So I hope yahan tak you have understood. Now, there are 4 important articles in this bracket of freedom of religion, starting from article 25, 26, 27, 28. All right. So all of them in some or the other way, what are they trying? वो कहीं ना कहीं आपको religion की ही freedom देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. In some of the other aspects, they fulfill each other, they complete each other. All right. Let's begin with article 25. What does it say? Freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Can anybody explain this to me? What right am I getting from article 25? Freedom of conscience and freedom of conscience, free profession of and practice and propagation of religion. Hanji. Yes, Samriddhi.
Freedom of conscience means कि मतलब आपके जितने भी moral beliefs हैं, you have a right कि आप उनके हिसाब से चल पाओ.
Okay. And this free profession, practice and propagation, Niharika, can you tell me?
मैम वही अपना जैसे आप कुछ भी रिलीजियस बिलीव्स है, आप जैसे कि आपको होली खेलना, आपको दिवाली पे पटाखे फोड़ना, आपको करो, मतलब कि हो सकता है उसमें भी रीजनेबल रेस्ट्रिक्शंस है, जैसे दिल्ली में नहीं हो सकता. बट लाइक हाँ, देन प्रोफेशन कुछ भी आपको प्रैक्टिस करना, आपको ये कोई नहीं बोल सकता कि आप इस रिलीजन के हो तो फिर आपको नहीं करने देंगे आप प्रैक्टिस कोई पर्टिकुलर प्रोफेशन. मतलब हाँ, आपको प्रीस्ट नहीं बना देंगे, आप हिंदू हो तो वो अलग बात होती है.
हाँ, ठीक है, makes sense. So basically, I'll just clarify here. When we talk about free profession, ठीक है, ये profession is not of career. I'll tell you this, ठीक है. यहाँ पे जो profession है, it is from the word profess. Professor कौन होता है? Like my father also is a government scientist. He is a government professor. ठीक है. Professor is somebody who tells you, teaches you something, है ना? वो profess करते हैं, right? So it is basically about teaching. So if you belong to a particular religion, so you firstly believe on it, है ना? Conscience. Nobody can ask you कि भाई क्यों इस पे you are believing, है ना? It's not like that. You can believe on it. And secondly, you can talk about it. You can teach your profession to your children, to your family members, to anybody who is willing. Of course, देखो यहाँ पे भी you will have what? You will have reasonable restrictions. It's not like कि कनपट्टी पे बंदूक लगा के आप बोल दोगे कि बोल कलमा पढ़ या फिर just convert to this religion. No, but you can talk about your religion, है ना? You can tell people about what are good things about your religion and stuff. Practice. Let's take an example that if in my religion, fasting in Ramzan is one of the important things. Okay, so I can do that. If in Hindu religion there is Durga Puja, in which there is a particular thing is done in Durga Puja, वो practice है. कोई भी ऐसी practice जो आपकी religion को दर्शाती हो, right? So you can do it. Of course, you should not be harming any other person. But if it is just to you and it's a good practice, you should be given the right to practice it. And lastly, propagation. Propagation का मतलब होता है अपने religion को फैलाना. ठीक है? Like let's take an example that I am talking to people and telling them good things about my religion. So if I'm doing them in good faith, okay, I'm just telling good things about my religion and I want you to just, know about it. And now you're free to whether convert or not to convert. It's totally up to you. I'm not forcing you. Please remember, there is no force whatsoever. In that case, I can propagate my religion, okay? I can talk about it. I can go on some, like let's take an example that I go to Makkah and Medina and I talk to people about my religion over there, right? So that's an idea of propagating your religion. Okay, so this is freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of your religion. All right, and now I want you to have your cameras on. आज सिर्फ भाविका का कैमरा ऑन है. Good job भाविका. ठीक है, so अपने cameras on करो. I'm feeling very absurd right now. ठीक है, let's start with Article 26. Okay, Article 26 talks about the freedom to manage religious affairs. देखो ये बहुत ही सिंपल सा है. ठीक है, let's take an example कि दुर्गा पूजा है. So Durga Puja, where is it celebrated the most, bachcho? In which state?
West Bengal.
Yes, okay. So it's a very big event of West Bengal, right? So Durga Puja is there. Now it is one of the very important time of the year, and there are, let's say, there is some committee of some particular temple, and they have the responsibility of every year maintaining and taking care that all the things are done for Durga Puja and सब कुछ ठीक से हो रहा है, all the arrangements are done and everything. So even that is your fundamental right, okay? So if there is any particular religious practice or religious affair that you have to take care of, you have the freedom to even manage those things, okay? जैसे आपको चंदा इकट्ठा करना है, आपको कोई चीज, कोई what do we say? जैसे हमारे वो नहीं होते हैं, भंडारे होते हैं, या फिर we have जगराते, ठीक है? So these are some religious affairs and you have the right to even manage these religious affairs, all right? बहुत सिंपल से हैं. देखो, mainly बस you have to understand that freedom of religion is there as a fundamental right, okay? Then we have Article 27. Article 27 क्या है भाई? Freedom as to payment of taxes. ये बड़ी अच्छी बात मिल गई भाई, ठीक है? For promotion of any particular religion. So if you are doing something, you are spending some money in promoting your religion positively. Please understand that there should be no force whatsoever, okay? And you're positively and only nicely you're promoting your religion, and उसमें जो भी पैसा आप खर्चा कर रहे हो, you don't have to pay taxes on that. तो I think बाबा तो बड़े मतलब ये लोग तो मौज में, ठीक है, करोड़ों कमा भी रहे हैं डोनेशन से, और एक तो ऐसे it's coming like a gift, तो उस पे भी टैक्स नहीं बन रहा है, ठीक है, and otherwise also they are not going to pay taxes because they're doing something to promote a religion. All right, so even you have freedom from payment of taxes. And lastly, Article 28. Freedom as to attendance at religious instructions or religious worship in certain educational institutions. देखो बच्चों, this is very, very nice. I'll tell you that if there is a government school, okay, there is a government school and it is completely funded by the government. ठीक है, ये state funded है, state का school है, all right. Every morning they do some kind of prayers which are, let's say, they belong to Hindu religion. You must have been a part of all of like this. So अगर आप सरकारी स्कूल में रहो तो चलो प्राइवेट स्कूल्स की तो बात अलग है, ठीक है? तो अगर वो सरकारी स्कूल है, right, and they are doing some kind of religious thing in the morning, so you can say or you can deny from attending it as well. Think about it. क्योंकि इंडिया में कॉन्सेप्ट किसका है बच्चों? वी आर अ सेक्युलर कंट्री, ओके? सो क्योंकि जो हमारी सरकार है, हमारी जो देश है, देश का कोई रिलीजन नहीं है. वी माइट से हिंदू राष्ट्र एंड एवरीथिंग, बट इट इज नॉट टेक्निकली हाउ इट इज, ओके? सो इफ यू आर स्टडिंग इन सरकारी school, sarkari college or anything, and if they are doing something that is aligned towards any particular religion, you have the freedom to not attend it as well. So just remember, okay? So in a way, we can understand that freedom of religion not only gives you the right to follow a religion, but it also gives you the right to not to follow a religion. You understand this? So if like, let's say, ab socho ki if I'm saying that there is a person who is an atheist, kaun hota hai atheist? Jisko kisi bhi god mein, like who believes in no god, it doesn't believe in the concept of God, and he does not think that there is any god whatsoever. Okay? Atheism, actually, bachcho theism hota hai na, theo is God. Okay? So theocratic is someone who follows God. ठीक है, like Pakistan is a theocratic nation. India is a democratic nation. Demo, जो हम people को follow करते हैं, वो God को follow करते हैं. ठीक है? But let's say कि वो कोई atheist है. Now what to do? But he's so not following any religion. So what happens to his right to freedom of religion? This is actually his freedom of religion, that he does not want to follow any religion. Okay, this is just like, you remember Article 19(1)(a) में क्या था? Freedom of speech and expression. And speech and expression also includes the freedom to not speak. Okay, so nobody can just say कि नहीं तुम्हें तो बोलना ही पड़ेगा. No, silence in itself is a way of communication. Okay, so this is just like this also. So this is one pointer. If you're noting it down anywhere, please note it down, that in freedom of religion, the freedom to not follow any religion is also included. All right. So an atheist person is also as much enjoying his freedom of religion as a very religious person is. Okay. So these are the 4 things under freedom of religion. Firstly, that you can have your own belief. Nobody can stop you from that. You can profess and teach your religion. You can practice your religion, and you can also propagate it amongst other people. Next, Article 26 says that you can manage your religious affairs, whatever is required for your religious activity. Article 27 says that if you're doing so, you will not have to pay taxes. You have freedom from that. Article 28 says that freedom as to attendance at religious instruction. ठीक है, इसका मतलब कोई अगर, but just remember, this is for the education institutions that are government funded. Private में इतना ज़्यादा control government का नहीं होता है. ठीक है, so you might have to become a part of it, but in government you can totally deny. All right.
सो आई होप कि आपको ये क्लास अच्छी लगी एंड आपको यहाँ समझ भी आया होगा. दिस वॉज द एंड ऑफ दिस क्लास, बट इसके बाद और भी क्लासेस हैं इसी सब्जेक्ट की, तो आप उन्हें ज़रूर देखना. ये बैक टू बैक एक प्लेलिस्ट में लिस्टेड है, सो मिस मत करना. एक भी क्लास मिस करोगे तो अगली आपको समझ में नहीं आएगी. ओके, सो डू वॉच द नेक्स्ट क्लास एंड स्टे ट्यून्ड विद द चैनल इफ यू वांट टू कवर एंटायर क्लैट सिलेबस विद अस इन दिस वीडियो लेक्चर सीरीज. स्टे ट्यून्ड. सी यू देयर.